Looking back on the unforgettable moments a year ago this week when wildfires swept through parts of our area, destroying dozens of homes and businesses.
And one of them, that Riverside Fire, came within a half-mile of downtown Estacada. For the past 12 months, KOIN 6 has been checking in on the recovery efforts. And Estacada is where we find our Lisa Balick live tonight, where one family hoped to move into their new house this week, built right where the old one once stood. What's the latest, Lisa?
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because they were hoping this was going to happen. In fact, you can take a look over here. This is the house, but clearly it is not ready for move-in, doors, inside work, everything, all the furnishings still have to be put in. It's going to be some time. If you take a look around, though, you can still see the burn scars. There were tens of thousands of trees that were taken down. It's going to take this area, both nature as well as the people who want to live back here, a lot more time to recover.
I had hoped I would be in my shop by now. Yeah, in my real shop.
But the master marimba maker is back in business.
I did this for about 4 hours yesterday, just drilling holes, but I'm almost done. If I hit it in different places, it brings different sounds out.
Peter Bush is working out of a family member's garage after the Riverside Fire last September destroyed his Estacada home and his nearby workshop. He and his wife Lisa fled as the towering flames raced towards their property.
Well, yeah, they were the sneakers that I was wearing in my old shop on the day of the fire.
There was nothing left when they returned. They vowed to start over, rebuild on the same spot. But with the slow pace of permitting and clearing debris, when I came out to check on progress 6 months later, back in March, this is what I found. Digging had just started for the foundation, but now, another 6 months later, as I drove up, I spotted a roof and a house taking shape.
After you is where our hearth is going to be. We have a view of Goat Mountain out there, but you can't see it through the plastic right now.
Their hope was to move in this week on the one-year anniversary of the fire, but that's not happening.
In a really hard year for supply chain and workers available and
the cost of plywood that we had to get at the height of it.
yeah, it was at the worst. That when it was time to frame this house was when the prices were the highest.
During the past several months, they've had a chance to make a lot of changes to protect themselves if there's another fire.
It changed how we live. And there are things I think about now that I never thought about before. And when we were designing the house, we were talking about exits like this.
For now, Lisa is busy farming on land nearby. Peter is filling marimba orders using new equipment paid for through a GoFundMe account.
Go over to the shop.
Their house was insured, the business wasn't, but he's not quitting.
I've always been a woodworker, and yeah, I just love it, and I don't feel like I'm ready to stop.
Now, a new date for when they expect to finally be moving in.
We're praying to move in by Thanksgiving.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Now you're taking a live look at the area around the house. In fact, Peter, this is the area where Peter said he spotted smoke just the other week. He was pretty panicked about what was happening and found out from the Forest Service that yes, that fire is still burning in some spots underneath roots, underground, but the Forest Service expects it to stay just in the remote areas. They are watching it carefully. But in terms of that defensible space they're talking about, they say there will be no wooden decks, wooden walkways whatsoever around the house. Also, any kind of landscaping is going to be pulled way back from the house. The kinds of things they say they need to be able to rebuild here and be able to stay here no matter what happens. Live in Estacada, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.